Welcome to 2021 on my channel, guys. Hopefully it's going to be a great year on my channel, and we're going to be covering a lot of sports here. A lot of upgrades are coming to the channel very soon. For now, this video is going to look somewhat like the recent past on my channel, but it's going to be more of a loose feel type of fun video. MLB.com came out with their power rankings right now for 2021 going into it January 1st. I'm going to be giving a reaction to all these. I'm going to go through every team. I'm going to do the first half of the teams in this video, and I'm probably going to make a separate video for the second half. So I'm just going to kind of give my, just in general, reaction. Not going to be like so specific in this video. I'm just going to be like, yo, do I feel like that's high or is that stinking low, man? So yeah, we're starting at the top. Follow me on Instagram at Massive Upset. So I can't wait to see what we think, and I want you guys to get in the comments like, is MLB tripping? Do you agree with me that MLB's tripping on some of these? Or are you like, no, man, no, MLB actually has this right? And of course, I'll be agreeing with MLB on some of them myself. Starting at the top, no surprise that MLB put the Los Angeles Dodgers at #1 in the power rankings. Defending World Series champs are coming back with a similar team in 2021. And with 2020 being a short season, I think the World Series hangover factor is going to be lessened. It should be another year with Kershaw, Buehler, Betts, Seager, and the rest of them boys in LA. I think that they're definitely the class of baseball heading into 2021. There's no doubt about that. And the Dodgers have been knocking on the door for a while. Like, 2017, they won 104 games, came a game away. But even like before that, the Dodgers were like in the playoffs every year since 2013. They've now won the division 8 straight years, and they should keep that streak alive, but it's not going to be easy. Why? Because the team that's ranked #2 in the MLB power rankings is the San Diego Padres. Now, I think MLB is going a little crazy. I'm not a Padre hater, and I'm so excited for their future, but I think MLB is tripping to put them at #2 for 2021. Why? Because Mike Clevinger is very good. He's a massive part of what the Padres are going to do. In my opinion, Mike Clevinger is very close with both Blake Snell and Yu Darvish. I feel like that top 3 could honestly be ranked anyway in their rotation. They don't have Mike Clevinger due to Tommy John in 2021. Yu Darvish and Blake Snell are going to help them so much. Those two at the top, along with Lamet and Paddock as your 3 and 4. Joey Lucchesi or whatever his name is at the 5 starter. This Padre team is going to be lethal. It's just that it's going to be tough. Like, Tatis and Machado both went off in 2020, and it's not going to be easy to get the same exact production out of Machado in particular, because he went off this year and helped them a lot. But I understand that in the regular season, the Padres were definitely the second best team in the National League. Like, regular season, the Padres were superior to the Braves. But for 2021 purposes, I think the Padres are going to be top 5 in 2021, but I don't think they're top 2. #3 is the Yankees. Now, this is my favorite team. It's kind of weird because the Yankees were like a top 3 team easily in 2018 and 19. And heading into 2020, it was very close between them and the Dodgers for the top team. But then the Dodgers go like 41 and 19. The Yankees go 33 and 27. And suddenly the Yankees just have such a down year. They come like a runaway from beating a team that went to the World Series in Tampa Bay. So they proved that they still have stuff, that they can really do stuff. But for the Yankees this year, man, they just had such a down year overall, only 6 games above 500, and it's a little weird, but another year, another chance to stay healthy in New York, because the last 2 have been brutal in terms of health. 33 and 27 looks bad, but when you see that Judge and Stanton each played less than half the regular season, there's a lot of hope for 2021. But what is a big concern is the rotation. Garrett Cole is the top of that rotation. He's so good. But then if you look at the 2 through 5 starters, Davy Garcia is arguably the Yankees' 2 starter. Why? Because it's Davy Garcia, Jordan Montgomery, Domingo Germán, and it would be like Jonathan Loáisiga right now at the 5 starter for the Yankees, unless you went with like Clark Schmidt. And the Yankees, man, they got to bring back Tanaka. Tanaka, man, his MLB career hanging on the line, man. He's either going back to Japan or re-signing with the Yankees. Please re-sign with the Yankees, Masa. You were bad in the 2020 playoffs. You're usually a great playoff pitcher, but I trust you and I want you back. I want you to be a stable #2 pitcher for us. Unfortunately, there's really no argument to put the Yankees as a #1 team in baseball heading into 2021. But re-signing LeMahieu, they better do. If they don't re-sign LeMahieu, man, even if they re-sign Tanaka, and don't re-sign LeMahieu, then you can make a case that they're not even a top 5 team in baseball, which is very, very sad. But 3 looks like, okay, I'm pretty happy with that, and it's also reasonable. All right, #4 team, the Atlanta Braves. Now, this is where I tend to disagree. I think the Braves should be the #2 team. I would switch the Padres and Braves for 2021. I would say Dodgers 1, Yankees 3, but I would say Braves 2, Padres 4, instead of what MLB has. So yeah, MLB is Braves 4. They need to re-sign Ozuna, But for some reason, I'm confident that they're going to do that. But if they don't, it's a shame, but they're so good. They were up 3-1 on the Dodgers. They lost by 1 in Game 7. Like, in the playoffs, we saw, like, they only went 35-25 in the regular season, which I thought they were going to have a really down season just based on how their pitching absolutely fell apart. But you're getting Mike Soroka back in 2021. You did not have him in 2020. And you're getting Charlie Morton in 2021. He is still good. Those two, Max Fried, Ian Anderson, what a rotation the Braves have in 2021. Freeman obviously still in the heart of his prime. I'm so glad he won MVP because he's really been knocking on the door low-key for the last 3 years. And Ronald Acuna is, man, he's only like 22. He's definitely a future MVP. Let's put it this way. He'd be selling himself short if he never wins an MVP in his career. He is that good. He had over 1,000 OPS in 2020, and it was no fluke. He's been getting better each of his first 3 seasons. All right, so number 5, the MLB put the Minnesota Twins, which when I look at it, I think that that's a little bit high because this means first in the AL Central, and I don't exactly think they're first in the AL Central. A few years now, the Twins have been really elite, really great regular seasons, but 0-5 in the playoffs the last 2 years, and, you know, that's selling it short to say 0-5, man. They're like 0-18 or whatever in their last playoff games. It's been a crazy playoff losing streak, but if this core doesn't eventually get a playoff win, then that would definitely shock me. The Twins remain very good. Number 6, they have the White Sox. MLB is the White Sox, and this is where I think that they should flip the Twins and the White Sox. I think the White Sox crack into the top 5 and are going to take down the AL Central. It was insanely close this year. I know the White Sox, you look at them 7 seed this year, but they were the 1 seed headed into the final 2 weeks and still had a chance to win the division in the final weekend. White Sox added Lance Lynn, who's a very good starting pitcher still. He's 34 and he's now in his prime. He just hit his prime. He was looking like he was falling off back in 2018, 2017, but he has picked up his career to even higher heights than it ever reached. And he's going to be very good for the White Sox along with Dallas Keuchel in that rotation. And who's to say a guy like Edwin Encarnacion won't bounce back? Okay, number 7, Oakland A's. Now, this is actually fair. It looks a little high to me because me and my brother have been doing power rankings pretty much every week, and we've tended to put the A's right around 9, right around 8 to 9, and they have them at 7. But it's fair because a lot of Matt Chapman struggled, Matt Olson struggled, Marcus Semien struggled. Marcus Semien won't be coming back, but let's just see. The A's won the division. They had a good regular season. They got the 2 seed. The A's were a 2 seed, not a 3 seed. They were the 2 seed. And the Oakland A's are not going to be getting Marcus Semien back because they don't spend money. So Matt Chapman bouncing back. Matt Olson going to bounce back. Ramon Laureano, I think, will do better. Mark Canha. And I think the Oakland Athletics, man, are going to be a top 7 team in 2021. I actually like this. Number 8, they have the New York Mets, which it is pretty much projecting what the roster is going to look like headed into the season, okay? So let's get that cleared up. Me and my brother have had the Mets at 10, which they have them at 8. So it's fair because I think the Mets will be good, but, man, I feel like MLB, let's remember, MLB made this list. They probably have connections with Steve Cohen. They probably trust the living crap out of him. And I think they'll sign George Springer, okay? So they got James McCann, which chill. Wilson Ramos was not a bad catcher, man. And James McCann, a lot of advanced stat people say is overrated. I'm not going to go crazy about him. But remember, you're getting Syndergaard back. So, I don't know, 8 might be a bit high, but at the same time, man, the Mets roster that was constructed, I know they went 26-34. They had a really disappointing season, but the Mets roster they had in 2020 was not that bad. They had a chance to do some stuff, and I think that it's going to be fun. I would project them to probably be a wild card team in 2021. By the way, please, MLB, keep your 2012 to 2019 playoff format. Bring it back. None of this, obviously not 16 teams, but don't do some 12, 14 teams. I want the normal playoff format back. But in the end, I'm going to be hyped for any type of playoff if it has packed crowd and fans. Our MLB puts Toronto Blue Jays at number 9. This is crazy. The Blue Jays low-key actually not average, but good again. The Blue Jays becoming good again. Top 10 is quite crazy, if you ask me. But again, there's been rumors that free agents like Springer and LeMahieu have outside shots to go up to Toronto. But I think that Toronto man Bo Bichette wasn't exactly completely healthy in 2020. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you would hope that he's eventually going to break out. The Blue Jays, I see them more as like a kind of 12th best team. Like, I don't know though, when me and my brother were doing power rankings recently, like we felt that there was a clear top 9, and then we were thinking of teams that we could sneak in at 10, and the Blue Jays were one of them. But MLB has the Blue Jays at 9. Whoa, number 10, they have the Rays. Whoa, this is insane. So you're telling me that the Rays are 3rd in the American League East now. A team that just went to the World Series is now worse than the Toronto Blue Jays. Whoa, okay. This is exciting as a Yankee fan because I hate the Rays, and this is so exciting. I wanna move on to new things and compete with the Blue Jays, but be the clear favorites again, back like 2019 and stuff. None of this like 2020 Rays 1, Yankees 2 crap. Now, wow, Rays 10, they no more Morton, no more Snell. The Rays are so stupid. They're not even that great anymore. They're not a World Series contender. They're a wild card team. Number 11, they have the Cleveland baseball team at number 11. So this team is weird because they could trade Lindor, they could trade Ramirez. They haven't done any of that yet. So honestly, I don't know exactly what to say just yet. There's not a ton to say because you really don't know what they're gonna look like. But 11 is, yeah, right outside of the top 10. Kind of looks like what they are. But let's remember, 2019 they were a 93 win team in 2019, and in 2020 they were the 4th seed. All right, number 12, St. Louis Cardinals. That means that the Cardinals will be the best in the National League Central according to MLB, which is true. The Cardinals have had this form of stability that they're kind of the only stable team out of that weird top 4 in the NL Central, about like 4 just average teams in that division. And it's weird to think when you look at Chicago Cubs 2020 National League Central champions, because they did not have a division champion type season. The Cardinals, man, I like the Cardinals to win the division in 2021. And again, guys, I will be having like many power ranking prediction type videos. So this is kind of unique because I'm reacting to MLB's rankings. Number 13, MLB's going Houston Astros, which is one that I look at and go like, yo, whoa, this is really low. But again, no Verlander in 2021. And MLB is probably smart. They probably look at what you did in the regular season, not exactly what you did in the postseason. So much. Like, of course, you want to look at the fact that they came a game away for the World Series for sure. They knocked out a solid A's team in the postseason. But again, the 2020 A's were not that special or anything. And they did take L to the Rays. Let's be real, the Rays, very good, but fairly weak for a World Series team. So the Astros, I can't wait to watch them in 2021. Why? Because is the regular season Astros from 2020 or the postseason Astros from 2020 the real deal? And of course, you're like, somewhere in between, you know? That's of course going to be the case, but because they were below 500 in the regular season, and they were 1 game away from the World Series, so I see them as a solid baseball team. And I really hope that dudes continue to suck and that they're not that good without cheating in reality. Though most logical things say that they're actually still good players. But literally, man, I hope that they don't get paid as much. Like, I hope Springer doesn't get paid so much, because he's probably going to get paid this offseason for sure. But I don't know, man. I hope he doesn't get over $30 million a year, just because he's a cheater and there's no proof that he could be that great without cheating. Number 14, they have the Phillies, which as a Philly, like, supporter, like I've liked the Phillies the last few years, and as a guy who roots for the Phillies, it's good to see them in the top half. Like, man, headed into 2019, I saw them as a top 10 team. I had them at 7 in my 2019 MLB power rankings. I had them at 7, but you know, the Phillies have just fallen off. They've not finished above 500 still. So, I don't know. I'm just pretty happy to see them ranked at 14. Little change to their roster this offseason. Alright, number 15, the last one in this video, MLB went with the Chicago Cubs. And I was just watching the Draft Neck Mark video where he was like, okay, the Cubs are going to suck. They're going to not be good in 2021. They're going to not be good for the next 6 years. And for me, like, because of that, I was like, whoa, top half still? But in reality, like, we don't know if they're going to trade Bryant or Baez this offseason. They might, like, try and make the playoffs one more time with those guys. You never know. But that's why I find 15 to be fair. Of course, no Darvish. Darvish was part of that crew that actually got them that division title for sure in 2020. Like, Rizzo, Baez, Bryant, their big three, like, they struggled so much in 2020. So if they just keep, like, even if they trade one of them, I see the Cubs, like, yeah, I think they could be above average again in 2021. Like, if a rebuild is about to happen, I don't know why the Cubs traded Darvish. I don't know why the Cubs didn't try and get a good signing or make a good trade. Like, the Cubs should run it back one more time in 2021, but they're deciding not to. And for that reason, they might have a mediocre season. That's all I'm going to say for this vid, guys. We're going to go over 16 through 30 in the next video. I'm so excited to get that out to you guys. And wow, this MLB 2021 stuff, fans, like, from April through October, we should see a big increase in the amount of fans in the building, which is why 2021, I love you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, don't miss anything. Leave a like if you enjoyed.